Hi guys, welcome to lockdown lesson number 7. We're going to do sloping lies today. Welcome to Parkstone National Park. It's Good Friday. In fact, it's a great Friday. It must be about 70 degrees out here. Absolutely fantastic. We've got pushchairs, we've got dog walkers, we've got cyclists, you name it, they're all out here today. So I'm not sure that the lockdown is quite working, but we're out here doing our daily exercise as well. So I can't blame them. It's a beautiful day and I'm glad that we're able to open up the golf course to see people to see the beauty of it. So what are we doing today? We're doing sloping lies. What does that entail? That entails the ball above our feet. So in other words, the ball there is probably 3 or 4 inches above my feet. If we go around this way, we've got an uphill slope, an uphill lie. If we go around another 90 degrees, we've got the ball really below my feet. And then the fourth one of the 4, we've got the downhill lie. So really tough shots, 4 tough shots: uphill lie, downhill lie, ball below the feet, ball above the feet. I'm going to do these as 4 separate videos because it's so confusing for some people when they start reeling the whole lot off, or I start reeling the whole lot off and you have to try and remember it. So I'm going to do these as 4 short videos for you. We're going to start with the uphill lie. So if we go around the other side, we're going to start with the uphill one. Yeah. Okay, so what does that mean? That means I am hitting basically up the hill where my weight is going to be on my lower leg. So whether you're a right-hander or a left-hander, the weight is always going to be on an uphill lie on my lower leg. Okay, my posture and my grip are going to be the same, but what you're going to see is that my weight, because it's on the lower leg, I need to keep every part of my anatomy parallel to that slope. So obviously my feet will be, my knees, my hips and my shoulders are going to be parallel to the slope. So I'm very much hitting uphill. What is that going to do to the flight of the ball? Well, obviously, clearly, it's going to add loft to the golf club. So at the moment here, I've got a 6-iron in my hand, but that's going to fly more like a 7-iron, or even possibly, depending on the severity of the slope, an 8-iron. So you definitely need to make sure you're taking enough club when you're hitting the ball uphill, because that loft at impact is going to be higher than normal. Okay. With regard to the ball position, because we're on a slope and because my weight is going to stay slightly back, obviously what's going to happen to my body? Because my weight stays back, I'm more likely to use my hands and rotate my upper body a lot more. So therefore the ball is more likely to go to the left. So for the ball position to counteract that, what I would tend to encourage you to do is position the ball perhaps very slightly further back, perhaps another ball's width behind where you would normally position it. So for me, if I position a 6-iron just forward of center, perhaps 1/3, 2/3, then I'm going to put that almost in the middle of my stance. That's going to encourage me to hit the ball slightly earlier in the semicircle, the arc of the swing, and start the ball more to the right. So my shape is more likely to be a draw because the weight is staying predominantly on my back foot. My swing is going to be pretty much the same, but as I try to swing through, I'm going to get a little bit trapped on my back foot. Notice how my back foot is not coming up as normal. Very hard for me to get fully forward. So there's a good chance I'm going to finish a little bit like this with my back foot stuck and my arms rotating over. So the ball is more likely to go to the left. If you're somebody, there's always an opposite to that. If you're somebody that struggles to really get off your back foot and you really get stuck with the foot not even coming off the ground, then for you, there's a good chance that ball will actually go straight right because I can't get my body rotating through. If you're a bit limited with your flexibility or your mobility, there's a good chance you get stuck here and your chest is actually going to be facing to the right of the target, and that is where your ball is going to go. So for a lot of golfers, they're going to flip it to the left, but for some of you, you're going to really stuck on your back foot. Chest is going to point right, the arms will not release, and your ball will go to the right. If that is the case for you, then possibly you still need to keep the ball back in your stance, because if it's too far forward, you're not even going to reach that ball. Okay, so the uphill one, it's one of the easier ones to be fair, but the important thing out of all of this is you get your body parallel to the slope, your feet, your knees, your hips and your shoulders. Your setup will remain the same. The backswing will be exactly the same, but there we're going to swing as normal as we can, try and get to our finish position, but it's going to be a little be restricted. And for you, you've got to compensate individually, knowing your own game and knowing your own swing, how you're going to do that. Thanks very much.